Altcoin season is finally upon us, and it's gaining momentum as we speak. But here's the big question. Are you holding the right altcoins, or are you just waiting on the sidelines, hoping to buy dips? If you're wondering whether it's too late to jump into some of the hottest altcoins right now, stick around. In today's video, I'll walk you through 5 altcoins I have high conviction in, projects that are set to soar in the coming days and weeks. Plus, I'll share the key narratives that are driving the market, and give you tips on how to discover undervalued altcoins that have huge upside potential. So hit that like button, and let's dive in. Before we get started, it's worth mentioning that recent political events have also contributed to the market's bullish sentiment. Donald Trump winning the election has generally been seen as positive for the crypto space, especially when comparing today's charts to 2016. Back then, when Trump won, Bitcoin surged and we could be on the brink of something big once again. But instead of focusing solely on Bitcoin this time around, many investors are asking whether now is the time to diversify into altcoins. Today, I'm here to help answer that very question by showing you some important market data and explaining why certain altcoins are primed for massive gains. Let's break it down into phases, as shown in the image that illustrates the flow of money during a market cycle. First, we have Bitcoin's initial pump. We've already seen it happening. The flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing a price surge. Bitcoin has started moving to the upside, but from here, the potential gains may not be as significant. This is when we start seeing Ethereum trying to catch up, which leads us into phase 2. Next, money starts flowing into Ethereum. Ethereum struggles at first, but eventually starts outperforming Bitcoin, leading to talks of the flippening. During this phase, Ethereum's performance drives excitement, and we see money beginning to flow into larger cap altcoins. This brings us to phase 3. After Ethereum's initial outperformance, large cap altcoins begin to go parabolic. Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, and as we progress, larger altcoins start attracting significant buy-ups. This phase often involves coins in the top 100 gaining momentum, making them a safer play compared to smaller, riskier altcoins. This is the point where high-conviction large caps present great opportunities. Finally, we have the full-blown alt season. Large caps have gone full vertical, and we're seeing blow-off tops. During this phase, money flows into mid, low, and even micro-cap altcoins, all of which tend to pump around the same time. Regardless of fundamentals, we see almost every altcoin experiencing parabolic growth. Meme coins also surge during this phase, and there's a general feeling of mania in the air. This is when smaller caps become more attractive, and gains made from large caps can be rolled into smaller projects for potentially higher rewards. Take a look at this. The top 100 coins are showing significant gains across many of the leading altcoins. Meanwhile, if you examine the lower-ranked altcoins across different ranges, you will notice there are far more losses. Some meme coins are even down by 60% or more. So, instead of chasing those potential losers, why not focus on something with a more predictable upside? I'm talking about coins within the top 100 that are still undervalued and ready to make their next big move. Now, let's talk about key narratives that will shape this bull market. We have AI, real-world assets, gaming, and decentralized physical infrastructure networks as some of the major themes. Elon Musk's focus on AI, along with BlackRock's push for tokenizing funds and ETFs, will each play a significant role in shaping this bull market. AI will be driven forward by Musk's influence, while RWAs will gain attention due to BlackRock's involvement in tokenization, making both areas key opportunities for growth. Gaming will be in the spotlight as well, with new games hitting the market, creating opportunities for tokens to skyrocket. DePIN and other sectors like DeFi will also make waves, but let's stay focused on the areas with the strongest current growth potential. Now that we understand these key themes, let's take a look at some specific projects that align with these narratives and are positioned to capitalize on the market opportunities ahead. Let's start by addressing a coin that has made headlines lately, Dogecoin. It's been making headlines lately, but it's not necessarily the best choice right now for high conviction gains. Doge is a meme coin, and while it's doing well, it's important to look for projects that are undervalued and have solid utility. One such example is AIOZ, a project in the AI and DePIN niche. If you look at AIOZ's chart, you'll see a familiar pattern. Early year hype, followed by a pullback, finding a base, and now preparing for another run. This kind of chart pattern, a recovery pattern, often signals a good entry point. AIOZ is a solid project, currently valued at $600 million, placing it just outside the top 100. This means it still has significant room to grow, especially as more attention turns towards AI and blockchain infrastructure. But don't expect a 50x right now. We're looking at something more like a 10x, which is still huge. Once these larger caps run, the gains can be rolled into smaller projects when it's their turn. Next on the list is Render, a project in the DePIN space, focused on decentralized cloud compute. Render plays a crucial role in the gaming and AI sectors by providing cloud rendering services. Demand for compute power is increasing, whether for developing AI projects or rendering graphics for video games and movies. This makes Render an essential player in DePIN. As we enter altcoin season, with external factors like China adding stimulus and the Fed cutting interest rates, projects like Render are perfectly set up to capitalize on increased demand. We've already seen Render gaining traction, up 27% in the last week alone, showing that it's ready for another leg up. Another project that fits into this AI and DePIN narrative is Ether, a cloud compute platform providing GPU power at a fraction of the cost compared to big players like Amazon Web Services. Ether has NVIDIA H100 GPUs, and its services are essential for many blockchain-based AI projects. The current market cap is restricted by its circulating supply, which is great for investors looking to ride the next wave. While there are unlocks coming in the future, those won't happen until at least 18 months from now, making it a relatively safe bet for the medium term. Switching gears to gaming, another exciting project is Beam. This blockchain is specifically designed for gaming and has around 30 different games currently being built on it. Beam was one of the hottest projects during the earlier utility coin rally, and after a healthy pullback, it's now showing signs of breaking out. Beam's market cap is around $950 million, meaning there's still a lot of upside potential here. As the hype around gaming builds, we could see Beam gaining momentum quickly. We've seen before how influencers like Alex Becker have driven millions of views on their YouTube videos, pushing gaming coins, and we could see Beam benefiting from that attention again, potentially giving us a solid 10x return. Just make sure you get the right Beam, which is the one with the rainbow logo. Real-world assets are another significant narrative, and one project that stands out is Ondo Finance. BlackRock has partnered with Ondo, and given how influential BlackRock is, we will see them all over the news talking about crypto, pumping numerous coins in the process. Ondo's chart looks similar to the other projects I've mentioned. A period of hype, a pullback, and now a consolidation phase, creating a perfect entry point. It's clear that as more traditional finance companies like BlackRock get involved, they will push their favorite projects to the front lines. This will bring in investors who left during the last bear market, people who got burned in March and are now looking to get back in. This is where you want to be positioned, in projects that have been through the hype cycle and are now undervalued, just waiting for the next push. Speaking of positioning, I still hold SUI, TIA, SEI, and other Layer 1 projects. SUI has seen incredible gains, and while it's likely to continue to perform well, I'm more interested in finding projects within the SUI ecosystem that offer even greater upside potential. If you're looking at Solana, for example, its recent performance has been impressive, but at its current price point, the upside may be limited compared to some of the smaller projects within the ecosystem. To benefit from Solana's growth, consider looking at decentralized exchanges or real-world asset platforms that are built on Solana. So, keep in mind that the key is to focus on large-cap projects that are positioned to pump first before the smaller caps start to run. That's it for today's video. If you got value from this, and if you want to continue exploring some of the hottest opportunities in crypto, check out my video on the top 7 RWA crypto projects for 2025, where I dive into how BlackRock is leading the charge in the tokenization of real-world assets. As always, I encourage you to do your own research, as this content is intended for educational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. My goal today is to help you grasp the opportunities that are currently available and to position yourself wisely to take full advantage of this altcoin season.